Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the show. Coming up on the program today, it is that time of the year, the annual meeting, the AGM for Apple Inc., Cupertino, California. One noticeable absence, Steve Jobs, the founder and the brain behind the company. All right, Apple Inc., Steve Jobs, even though he's on extended medical leave till summer at the earliest, remains deeply involved in strategic decisions. The company will disclose more info about his health if warranted. They just held the AGM today. Joining us out of the Bay Area, Brian Marshall from Broadpoint, AmTech. Brian, good afternoon to you. You talked to the company following the annual meeting. Give us your main takeaway from that, if you would.
Sure. I think this year's annual shareholders meeting was basically a non-event. I don't think there was any material events that took place today, and it was encouraging to hear that Steve is still very active from a strategic perspective at the company. And other than that, I think that there weren't any main surprises.
Okay. If people assume that Steve Jobs is the company, but that's not true. The bench has gained depth as the years have gone by. I mean,
sure.
If he does have to extend his medical leave, are you satisfied the company is on the right trajectory, that they're all on the same page, all in tune?
Definitely. That's been a topic of a wide discussion as of late. And I think investors have finally come to the reality that Steve's not going to be CEO forever. He obviously is very instrumental from a leadership perspective, as well as being an innovative force at the company. But in terms of the management bench, as you point out, it is very deep. And I think investors are very comfortable with the current COO, Tim Cook, and potentially being CEO down the road, as well as the existing design team. So Steve's important, but without him, the company will still be just fine.
Okay. The stock, like many others, crashed from like 180 back in August, September, down to the current levels, just kind of been bumping around the 90s to 95 range since then. Is anything going to get them out of that rut? Is there anything on the horizon? I mean, you know spending trends, the jobs picture, the economic picture, the mortgage picture. I mean, it would seem like nailing an iPhone or upgrading to the newest graphics is probably not high on people's priority list.
Well, we think our numbers are conservative, and right now the company's trading at a very anemic 12 times forward earnings. We think that's pretty attractive relative to the other investment opportunities out there. What I view as the next key driver of the stock going forward is continued new market penetration with new products, and in particular, what we're looking at is the iPhone and being launched in the China market, the world's largest cellular market. We expect that will happen in the coming months. Furthermore, we expect a low-end notebook, if you will, a netbook device or a tablet device in the summer time frame. And so those are the two main things that we actually think could add well over an additional $1 in earnings power. So that could be about a $20 move to the stock from current levels. So our price target over the next 6 months is about $110.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but as they're moving into these ancillary spaces like iPhone in China, China's been already saturated with a lot of 2G phones and low-end offerings from this part of the world. And then, of course, you've got a lot of cheap makers offering the $300–400 netbooks. Are they going to find it harder to navigate this space? It's not exactly their forte, right? I mean, they're not going to be at the cutting edge of this kind of technology because it is more homogeneous than what they're used to.
Sure. Yeah, Bernie, that's a great question. I think what's happening in China right now is pretty interesting, and they're upgrading their networks to 3G technologies, higher data throughputs, and that's basically playing right in Apple's backyard. And so we do believe that there will be a major China carrier that would offer the iPhone 3G wideband CDMA device in the very near term. And then with regards to the low-end notebook offering, I think that Apple could come in at a premium to the market. We think that a $600 price point, about a 50% premium to the current leading products in that category. We think that that's pretty attractive.
Okay, Brian, you have a great rest of your afternoon. It looks beautiful over there. Coming up next on the program, the budget.